thanks for thinking about getting a system for Farmer's Eye. This video is just to give you a few questions that we often get asked that you might have asked us in the kind of quoting stage, just to make sure everything's covered. So in year one, there's no cost whatsoever. It doesn't matter how many times we're either on the phone to you if you're a self-installed customer, or we're on site if we're an installation customer, there'll be no cost whatsoever. So for year one, you're covered. After year one, you've got two choices. You can either become a pay-as-you-go customer, or you can go onto our maintenance plan. In either case, because we've got such a long warranty on our parts, in years 2 and 3, there'll be no cost for parts. You're only covering your labour. After that, you're either pay-as-you-go for parts and labour, or our monthly maintenance plan, which will cover all of the labour costs, again, regardless of how long you're on the phone to us for, or how many times we come to site within that year. Now, you might think that you're not going to get many problems, but every single time you change your phone, you might need to call us. Every time you change your router, you might need to call us, and the like. So the maintenance plan can be a really good deal, but if you're somebody that can deal with all that yourself, then you probably need to be a pay-as-you-go customer. So we've got a maintenance plan, and what that means is for a really low cost, we'll be either, if you're a self-installed customer, we'll be on the phone as long as you need us, whenever you need us, or if you're an installation customer, we'll be there on site as often as you need us. It's a really affordable plan, it's low cost. But the other key thing that you get is that every year you're going to get a kind of like a system health check. Now, this is done remotely, but what we'll do is we'll make sure that the firmware is up to date, which is really important for your sort of like farm security and that. But also we'll just check that it's kind of recording as you expect it to and the like. Your other alternative is to be a pay-as-you-go customer. We'll do all that for you, but you would have to pay as you go, and it can work out a bit cheaper if you don't have any problems, but it can work out much more expensive if you do have a problem. So one of the features of the security cameras that we sell is that we can activate motion detection. Now, what this means is, and the way we use it is, we'll draw a virtual line on the camera screen. Only the camera can see it, and if somebody crosses that line, it can create an alert to your phone or to the network video recorder. Now, the thing to remember about this is it's not 100%. It's probably about 80% there. You will get some false alarms, and it may miss some. Now, we cover the it may missing some by putting on a few cameras. So if it misses on one, it'll get it on the other, or if it misses on the way in, it'll get it on the way out. But just don't expect 100% off it. So it's more to be used as a guide to what's happening on your farm, rather than giving you absolute certainty of what's happening on the farm. The other question we're often asked is, are my security cameras going to be able to read license plates? Now, the short answer is yes, they're going to be able to get license plates, but only during the day. Sadly, for at night, the headlights come on and they dazzle the license plate and you can't read it, and you need a specialist camera for that. Now, the cameras are quite expensive, and there's times when we think they're really useful, because what you can do is press a button and get shown all the license plate that has come through. But we don't always feel it's the best use of money. Give us a call and speak to us if you want a bit more advice on license plate cameras. But the key thing is that the normal security cameras that we sell will give you license plates during the day, but not at night. And you're going to need another camera if you want license plates at night. So for security cameras, they're going to be, generally speaking, there's two different sorts. There's one which goes into night vision mode, where it's black and white. And generally speaking, you get probably about 30 meters decent night vision, but it is dependent on the ambient light that's around what you've got in front of the camera. So we often say, don't stress too much about it at night. Let us put them in, and then we'll kind of like try and make it as good as it can be in that certain situation. The other alternative is something called a color view camera. And a color view camera tries to give color at night. This has got a white light on it, so some people don't like it because you can look at the camera and see the white light, like a little light there, and there's a bit of light pollution. But the advantage of it is it gives colour at night, which is kind of like more evidence for the police, what colour was the guy wearing and things like that. So they're the two options. Long story short is we can't really predict very easily what it's going to be like at night, but the modern cameras are brilliant. And we should be able to get a really good view colour for you. As far as pan-tilt zoom cameras are concerned, they are in black and white at night. There's no colour view version of them. Again, the cameras are set up for outside use, And so putting them in a shed, they're overpowered almost for an inner shed, so you'll get a really good view. What I would say, if you have any bothers with night vision at all on a livestock camera, one of the pan tilt zooms, you must get in touch because we can fix it for you. It's very difficult for us to predict in daytime how to make it work, and if you get any sort of like problems, if you think, oh, this isn't very good, there's something wrong, give us a shout, we'll fix it. If you live on the farm and we're taking the cameras back to your farmhouse, the cameras are going to work brilliantly at the highest resolution within your farm. And if there's any bother there, get in touch. When you're away from your farm though, or if you don't live there at all, it's dependent on your internet speed. Now, in the sales process, we should have asked you about the internet speed, but we can't guarantee that internet speed, so that's down to your supplier. So just be aware that for the cameras to work when you're away from home, the internet needs to be on, and it needs to be quite good. However, we've installed in thousands of farms, and I've only had one or two where kind of like the normal broadband speed wasn't good enough for us to at least get a live view streaming for you when you're away from home. Now, we've got two ways of doing the recording. We record on the camera itself, and if you're going for that option, you can probably usually expect to have about 2 days worth of recording. If you want longer, we can reduce and change settings in a way that you wouldn't notice, and that can potentially give you longer. If you've got a network video recorder, we're usually aiming for between 2 weeks and a month. However, if you're not getting that, or if you want longer, there's so much we can do to give you that. Just give us a call after the installation, after it's been running for a while, and we can either change settings or give you a bigger hard drive. One thing to be aware of is the network video recorder, which is the box that does the recording and comes with a screen with your cameras. If you're getting it, not every system has it, can have a fan noise on it. On a smaller system, which is 8 cameras or less, it won't have a noise, but on the bigger system, it can have a fan, and some people can find that annoying. So just be aware of that when you're asking the installer to position it. You might want to hear the sound first, because if it's in a room that you're in all the time and you're the sort of person that finds that sort of noise annoying, we can help to put it in a different room. So you might be thinking that the camera is going to help you with insurance. In some cases we've found that it has, but it's really, really important that you phone the insurance and get a copy of the small print, because they'll often have features of the system that are required, or of the supplier that are required, that if you claim the discount on your insurance and you don't have them, it might invalidate your insurance. So long story short is, they can sometimes help you with insurance, but you need to be reading the small print, and so you don't get caught out if there is a theft. We want your system to work really well for you. So if you've got any other questions before we come, just give us a shout. And equally, during the installation or after the installation, give us a shout. We want to help.